Can you see? And a longer one there.
2 notches.
Yeah, but the one's closer to the edge than the other. And we're working on the one that's closer to the edge. And I want you to fold the zip back like that against the notch. And we're going to stitch here. With your regular foot should be fine. So if you put your foot, say, to the edge like that.
Are you getting close to the teeth or not?
No,
No,
no, you
doesn't
can be
matter.
far away. And this time we need to swing this out when we get there. So let me just... So it's just kind of on the edge of the tape. But as we get to this notch, I'm swinging it that way. Can you see?
Mhm.
So it will be into the bag. And you can... I point with my scissors so it's there, level with the notch. And then do a double stitch. Okay, so that one's folded that way,
Okay.
and that one's folded that way. Okay. So if you want to do that one, do it, and then fold this back like that, and then you can start from this end now. So you swing that over. Remember you're stitching on the edge, so you can use an unpicker or a pair of scissors just to hold it where you want it at this point, yeah? And then you want your little seam allowance there. So we're going to start just there. So you just swing the zip out again. And then you want a nice even seam here, and then you fold that back like that, and then that should meet your little notch up here. Okay. So keep your seam allowance as level as you can, and then fold that back in exactly the same place as you did before, so that the end is outside. And then do your zip up. Yep, and that's all ready. There's your little bag. Okay, the lining, you put the 2 right sides together, like this. And we're just going nice and simple, we're just going to stitch on that same line, but we're going all the way along. So we're going to start at the end. Straighten up your seam allowance if you can, yeah, so you've got a nice even seam. But you want to be on the same row here, because if you start to go wider, it's going to mess it up a little bit. So make sure you pull your zip out here and try and keep that all nice and straight. And don't forget your reverse stitching, really important. So now we do that up. Okay, so you can see the lining that side, and now undo it again, and then put the other side on. And then turn it over, exactly the same along here. So edges together, and again, just make sure that you're on the same row until you get to the end. Straighten that up a little bit. You see, I'm just trying to keep that nice and straight. But make sure you're slightly to the left of your stitching, just by a millimetre, because otherwise you will see it.
that's good.
Okay, so that's the lining, and then this actually raises up a little bit like that. Okay, so your zip will come right there. Okay, bottom to turn it into the right side. So I just want you to put a couple of pins, line up this seam like that, so the seam is lined up. I'll just put a pin here. Same this side. Undo the zip. So you want to line up these seams here. Pin. And then just make sure that they're in line. Give or take a few mil, be fine. So just put a couple of pins. And then the same here. Just smooth it all out. And that one. Right, we're going to start from here. We're going to push the zip out the way, and then we're going to come along here, around the corner, and we're going to stop roughly where the pins are. And we're going to do a reverse stitch so it doesn't come undone. Start again, and then round this side. We can start at the corner. Just take about 1 centimetre. Make sure you don't catch a zip, so just push that to one side. I've got to try and match up these seams here. To the corner. And about here, just do a reverse stitch. Take it out. Start again. Needle down. Again, we've got to try and match up these seams here,
Just a quick question, why are you not going all the way along at the end?
because we've got to turn it into the
Turn
right
Oh,
side.
okay.
Okay. You don't leave, you know, like in the cushion, we left the,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, the buttons
Zip
open, didn't we, or the zip? And now down here. The seams go to the lining, by the way, that's important. And then end up where you started. That's it. And then you don't really need to worry, you could just cut the corners away actually. And now we can turn the bag into the right side. So remember, when you're turning a corner, to actually sort of make the corner like that with your fingers and then poke it through. Same with this one. Just fold it like that and turn it through. Although it doesn't matter too much because we're actually going to stitch the corners to make them boxy. Okay, and then this go like that. That's going to be flat. and then that's actually going to roll down into like that. So you pull this out and make a little sort of border like that, so that all pokes down like that. Okay, but we've got to box these, and then you've got to feel so that these seams are in line. And that's, sorry, can you show me the bag? Has anyone got the bag there? The original sample. So what you want to do is to have these matching as much as you can, these corners. Yeah? Okay. So what I've done here, I've pulled it out, I've pushed the seam over to one side and then the opposite side, like that. And then I've marked, it's better to use inches just because it's on the edge of the ruler. Can you see?
Yeah.
And you've got 1 inch either side that you're drawing a straight line.
Okay.
You can decide, the bigger the number, the more boxy the bag will be. Okay, so the more, you know, if you went for 1.5 inches, this bit would be bigger, so it'd be more boxy.
Okay.
Okay, so you can change it. And then do the same with the lining, and the seam needs to be going the same way. You see? So the lining seam and this seam are both going the same way. It doesn't matter which way, but they need to go the same way. The bottom seam on the bag can be in the opposite direction so that it'll make it flatter.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm pulling that out like that, and you want that seam to feel like it's in the centre. And then I'm going to draw my line. And it's important that this is square. Okay, as square as you can get it, so it looks even. And then when you're happy that it's even, just draw your line like that. And then once you've got your line and you're happy that it's completely, both seams are together in line, just pull one out the other side, put a pin, and then we can stitch it on the line that you've just marked. And then just have a look, so go inside and just check that that's in line. Okay, so can you see?
Yeah.
They're lined up. So when you're happy that they're in line, you can then just snip the corner away. But don't snip it away until you're happy that it's in line. So I've marked this already. I'm going to do the next one. Don't trim until you've checked it. So check again that it's in line. Yep, that's fine. So I'm now going to trim. And then the lining I've already marked. The lining isn't so important, obviously, because it won't show. One, so I won't check the lining because it doesn't matter if it isn't matching. If it's not completely matching, it won't matter. Make sure the seam's in line. And now go back into the right side. Push out your corners. The lining, just push those out, push that inside the bag, and then just roll the seam down into the bag. got your little square corners.
Piece of it.
Yeah.
And
And
there'll
then
be
you've
about
got your little makeup bag. So
2, 3.
you need to play around a little bit so you get this all nice. Yeah, so, you know, spend a little bit of time getting that all nice and even. And then we can top stitch or not round the top edge. If it isn't perfectly neat, don't do it. Yeah, if you can get it perfectly neat, you can press it and then you can stitch it. But if you don't feel that you can do it perfect, it's better to leave it. But start. You see what I'm doing? I'm edge stitching it all the way around. And I'm lining up the groove in the foot just to the edge here. And as you're stitching, just make sure that it's even all the way round. See this?
Yeah.
So that needs to be the same. And you want to have a colour that's going to blend nicely. Your black would be too dark.
Yellow.
Yeah. And then come back to where you started. But we'll have a look. If you don't like it stitched, then don't worry. A little bit fiddly, obviously, because the zip's in the way. And then back to where we started. So that just keeps it all flat here. Just like that. And then we can go inside the lining, trim any ends off, any threads. And then you can either press this seam or just finger press it and pin it. And then I'm just going to edge stitch the opening. So you see I'm just going to stitch it on the edge.
So that's the edge stitch that we would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same as this one. And now the ends, the whole rather, is all sewn up, and that's the bag.